And we're back. Hey everybody, Mike McElroy here with Center Coast Realty. It's time to do another Chicagoland real estate market update. Stay tuned because the Chicago real estate market is hotter than it is in our office right now, where the air conditioner is broken. So if I turn into a realtor puddle on the floor, that's what's going on there. Anyway, moving on. Before we get started, remember, as always, we're about to give you a breakdown of the whole market overall, but what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community, might be different. In fact, it probably is. So if you want to know what's going on in your market, fill out that form below with your name, email, and the neighborhood you're interested in, and we'll send you a handcrafted report on the neighborhood of your choice. And if you want to talk about it a little bit more, we're happy to do that as well, too. No pressure, no obligation. All right, let's get into it. Let's kick things off by doing the numbers. We're going to break it down three different ways for you today. We're going to look at the Chicagoland market overall. We're going to look at the city of Chicago, and then we're going to look at downtown because all three of those markets are behaving a little bit differently right now, and it's good to break them out that way. All right, median prices. Overall, median prices increased almost 2% just between April and May. That's huge. They're up 12.8% over the last 12 months. That's in the Chicagoland market overall. In the city of Chicago, they increased 1.5% from April to May. That's also a big increase, and about 10.4% over the last 12 months. Zooming in to downtown Chicago, we're flat month to month and up about 5.4% over the last 12 months. That's a little misleading, actually. Most homes in downtown Chicago are probably not more valuable than they were 18 months ago, and they're probably only a little bit more valuable right now than they were 12 months ago. What's going on there? We've got the same number of homes selling, but more of them are larger units, like 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, as opposed to 1 bedrooms. So even though their values may have decreased a little bit, they're still more expensive properties, and that drags our median up. So that's where home prices have been. If you want to know where they're going, we're going to look at supply and demand. Demand's first, and we measure that with the number of homes that go under contract each month. Overall, in the Chicagoland area, there's an increase of about 30.7% in terms of the number of homes that went under contract in May compared to May of the year before. Year to date, we're up about 37%. So those numbers are starting to get a little bit closer together. Chicago, 53.5% increase in May and about a 61% increase year to date compared to the same period over the year before. And zooming in on downtown, almost a 95% increase in May and about a 91.5% increase in the year-to-date numbers. All that just goes to show you how much more severe the contraction was in terms of demand in downtown denser markets and how those neighborhoods are rebounding back a little bit later than some of the suburbs have. That's demand. Let's talk supply. Homes for sale is how we measure that. Overall, in the Chicagoland area, there were 44.5% fewer homes for sale in May than there were in May of last year. And that's actually down 56.4% compared to 2 years ago, because it was already starting to drop off in May of last year. There's fewer homes for sale in Chicago too, but not quite as much of a decrease. In Chicago, homes for sale are down about 5.7%. And downtown, it's the opposite. There's more homes for sale than there were a year ago, up about 33%, which is a story you've been hearing on this YouTube channel for a while now. So today I want to talk about a question that we've been getting a little bit more over the past couple months. And that question is, are we in a bubble? That's a great question to be asking right now. So as we've talked about before, what happened with the pandemic, with these low interest rates, is we shifted demand. We shifted buyer habits by about 36 months forward. So in Chicago, typical that once you outgrow your space in the city, you go searching for space where it's more affordable, and that is often in some of the suburban markets. So you sell that Chicago condo, buy a single-family home in Evanston or in LaGrange or something like that. So last year, what happened was interest rates dropped, and everyone suddenly decided they wanted to do that now. So that moved all of that demand forward, and it also moved all of that supply forward. So that's why you have so much supply downtown and so little supply in the suburbs, and all this demand in the suburbs. Now, what we've seen recently is demand has picked up in the city and downtown too. In fact, demand is at some pretty historic levels in the city and the downtown market. It's just that there's so much supply that it's actually still a buyer's market. So the question again, are we in a bubble? Yeah, sure, we are. We're in a little bit of a bubble right now. The question really is, though, is that bubble going to pop or is it just going to deflate? My money's on it's going to deflate a little bit either next year or the year after that. It's probably not going to pop, and here's why. People are buying homes that they can afford based on their income and based on where interest rates are currently at. But remember, wages are going up too, so it may not actually impact affordability quite as much as you might think. Which brings me to my next point, which is that everything is getting more expensive right now. It might not be a terrible time to invest in a hard asset that you can live in and amortize over 30 years the payments for that asset, even though the value goes up the entire time. And second of all, a few people have asked me, because it is tough out there right now, is it worth it, what we're doing right now? Going to all these showings, putting in offers, multiple offers, getting beat out. Is it all worth it? And my answer is, if you want to move right now, I think the answer is yes. It's worth it for the rate. Interest rates are gonna go up pretty soon, and an increase of a half a point or a point in interest rates, which is realistic, makes a huge difference in your monthly payment. So if you think the time is now and you're feeling a little beaten up by the market, hang in there. It's gonna be worth it. Speaking of which, home buyers, you could get some relief this summer. You typically do. Usually July and August is when a lot of your competition starts heading out of town for wedding seasons, which begs the question, who do you love more, Ben and Amy or that cute Cape Cod bungalow? Make your choice, folks. If you buy in August, you're gonna save money. Or there's this, you could buy a condo in one of the country's only buyer's markets, namely downtown Chicago, and bet that that market is gonna come back over the next 5 or 6 years. And boy, folks, if you were in downtown Chicago, either over Memorial Day weekend or last weekend, you probably saw what I saw, which is that people still really want to be here. And I really think those markets are going to come back in a big way over the next couple of years. If you're looking to sell and you're downtown or in the city of Chicago, we're already starting to see a little bit of a decrease in demand just in this past month or so. Again, it's still way up seasonally. It's just not quite as hot as it was in March and April. That's okay. That's normal. But it's probably time to decide, if you haven't sold yet, whether or not you're in this for the longer haul or whether you want to sit it out and try again next year in the spring when things pick up again. In the burbs, demand has stopped rising as fast. It was still up month over month in May. So if you're looking to sell out in the suburbs, you should be good through the summer. Things are looking pretty good for you. All right, everybody, that's the report for the Chicagoland real estate market, May of 2021. If you liked what you saw here today, give us a like or hit that subscribe button so we stay in your inbox. You can also go to our blog via that link below and fill out the form with your name, email, and the neighborhood or community that you're interested in. We will send you a handcrafted report on what's going on in that particular market. If you want to talk about it more over the phone, we're all ears and happy to answer any questions. Thanks again for stopping by. This has been the Chicago Real Estate Market Update with Center Coast Realty. We'll be right back.